Thank you, Mr. Anand, Mr. Ajay, for these great insights on orbit shifting. Now, let me introduce you to our third guest of honor. I'm just going to ask you one thing, that when we were learning in this COVID scenario, Bagwe sir has given us a great tool, that is daily small improvement. And while learning this tool and while creating that environment in our enterprise, we have seen many videos of a gentleman and we just get inspired. When we were watching those videos again and again, we were like, wow, oh yeah, it's so simple. Great, man. All these emotions are flowing outside. Can you guess the name? Yes, he's Mr. Paul Akers, who is our third guest tonight. Actually, he don't need any introduction. But as a formality, I'll be introducing him on behalf of Bodh team. Paul Akers is an entrepreneur, business owner, author, speaker, and lean man himself. He is the founder and president of FastCap, a product development company with distribution over 40 countries. FastCap, which is based in Washington, launches 30 new products every year and is regarded as a model lean manufacturer. In 2000, Paul has discovered Toyota production system, that is lean manufacturing, and this new discovery has helped him and his wife to take their startup, which was in garage, to the big production company which it is today. Paul is not just a speaker or entrepreneur or businessman, he is a great sports person. He swims, he surfs, he runs, he is a great mountaineer. He had trekked to Mount Everest base camp. He had been to Kilimanjaro. He is also instrument-rated pilot and flown his plane all over the world. Man, a single person having so many qualities. Now, I'm not going to waste a single second here. I just want to hear from him. Let's welcome him, guys, Mr. Paul Akers.
FastCap makes all kinds of really cool products for woodworkers, innovative products for the woodworking professional, and even for the hobbyist. We have all kinds of great innovations that are going to save you time and money. Hundreds of videos on how those products work and how they're going to enhance what you're doing. Secondly, I'm a lean manufacturer maniac. I love lean manufacturing. I love continuous improvement. I love for everything to get better every day. And we have hundreds of videos on how to make that happen in your organization or personally in your own life. And then lastly, I'm an adventurer, an explorer. I travel all over the world. I've been in 50 countries. Whether I'm diving with poisonous snakes in Indonesia or in Africa, filming a lion mating, who knows where I'm going to be next. I'm always doing something interesting. So if you want to find out about cool places to travel that you can go to, you want to learn about woodworking tools, or you want to enhance your life, your business, your organization, your lean manufacturing, this is the channel. You're going to love it.
Wow, that was a great introduction. That was so kind of you, and I was just smiling the whole time. You know, one of the things that's video, which is very, very old, says that I've been in 50 countries. I've actually been in 106 countries. So a few more countries than that. I was just in the Galapagos Islands. So are we ready to get going? Can everyone hear me okay? Are we good? All right. So the title of my talk is Lean is Simple. I don't have a lot of time, a half hour. Sometimes talk is about an hour and a half long. So I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, so everyone needs to hang on. So this is not a technical talk. This is what I would call kindergarten, very basic level, because lean is very basic. So here we go. First of all, I can't teach you anything. So you're all tuned in right now in India, and you're thinking you're going to learn something from me, right? And I'm going to teach you something because I'm a teacher. Guess what? I'm not. I'm not going to teach you anything. And this is one of the most important things I've ever learned in my life. I cannot teach you anything. You got that? Nothing. Here's why. I can only show you what I'm doing and what my team's doing and what other teams, thousands of companies around the world who are doing 2-second lean, I can only show you what they're doing. And when I show you what they're doing, then you're going to decide whether or not you want to do something with it or not. But I'm not going to teach you anything, because every time I teach something, I push it on you. And you cannot push anything on anyone. It's to pull it. And when they pull, that's when they catch something. So here we go. How did I learn that? I learned Mr. Yoshino, the man right here in Japan. I was in Japan all the time at Toyota. I train people from around the world in Japan study missions. I teach them about what Lexus and Toyota is doing. And when I was there one time, Mr. Yoshino explained to me, because he's the one that led the transformation of the Numi plant in 1984, where they took a GM plant that was the worst GM plant in the world and turned it into the best in 2 years, because Toyota took it over and started making small, high quality cars. Now, how did they do that? Mr. Yoshino was tasked with training the Americans, the proud Americans, the proud union members, how to do it. And he explained to me one time when I was in his office, these are the Americans that he trained in Japan for 3 weeks. And then he brought them back to the United States, and they all started doing the Toyota production system. A miracle. How could that happen? And I asked Mr. Yoshino, how did you do that? That seems impossible. Nobody's ever accomplished that. It's totally easy. I'm a young engineer, a young Japanese engineer. They're not going to listen to me. Americans are not going to listen to me. You wiped us out in the World War II. They're not going to listen to me. I'm a young Japanese engineer. So I decided all I'm going to do is just show the Americans what I'm doing. I'm not going to teach them anything, because the minute I become the teacher, I'm above them. And then people get all their defenses and they don't want to have anything to do with it. And I go, Mr. Yoshino, that's genius. This is Mr. Yoshino in his office telling me the story. It's unbelievable. It's crazy when you think about it. Here he is. So we're going to run over to Japan real quick.
It's not audible.
Okay, not audible. Okay, then let me fix that real quick. Thank you. That was a switch. That was waste on my part. So here we go. Let's go share screen, stop share. Let me just do it one more time here. That was so bad on my part. I forgot to click one thing. Keynote, share computer sound, optimize. There we go. My bad. Okay, here we go. We'll do it one more time. What about now? Let's see.
So I was assigned to the training manager, but I don't know what to do. So you're gonna try to change the culture of the ex-GM people? Oh, go ahead, do that. It's not
impossible.
Easy. Impossible. And only 3 weeks. How can we change the attitude?
So what was the key, Mr. Yoshino?
So we decided, okay, let us just show them exactly what they're doing, and let them decide what they need to do. We decided not to use the word teach, or not even coach. So
the minute you said you were teaching them, then it kind of made them seem like they were below you, but you didn't make them feel that way at all.
So that is what we agreed with each other. And
do you know what? I've heard a lot of people say a lot of great things before, but I think that might have been one of the top things I've ever heard.
So did you get that? They didn't even use the word coach. They didn't even use the word coach. They didn't even use the word teach. Just come watch what we're doing. If you like it, great. If you don't, no problem. This is the way. And this is what happened. This is what is the most amazing story you'll ever hear. Watch this.
Could Toyota take one of the worst factories on earth and make it into one of the best, using the exact same workers? Toyota's first step was to send workers like Madrid to the carmaker's Japanese factories. There, Madrid saw a worker misthread a bolt. And then, something totally unexpected happened. The worker reached up to pull a rope hanging overhead, and boom!
Boom, they stopped the line. They stopped the line to repair it. Gee, that makes sense. Fix it now. That impressed me, that they want to build a quality car. One bolt. One bolt changed my attitude.
That was Toyota's philosophy, that workers should be empowered to stop an assembly line, or invent new tools, or do whatever else they feel like they need to do in order to get things done. The idea is that if you give workers the authority to take control, you'll not only unlock innovation, but motivation. After Toyota implemented lean management in Fremont, within just 2 years, the worst auto plant in the world had become one of the best. If you want your team to take more ownership of their work, then give them more power. Put the responsibility for solving a problem with the person who's closest to that problem, regardless of what their title is. And then step back and watch the productivity
And this is what
skyrocket.
happened to me. When I realized if I just let my people stop the line, say, no, this is not working well, and actually fix problems. This is what Toyota did with the GM workers. And they went from last to first. It's impossible. You think it's impossible simply by saying, we're only going to show you what we're doing. And then it's your decision. Your decision what you do. You can totally reject me. You can say, oh, this guy's crazy. This is way too simple. He's just a carpenter. I'm not going to listen to him. Or you can say, hey, this is a great new idea. I never thought about that. I never thought about actually stopping work, not working, but stopping work and fixing the problems, just like Toyota taught the GM members to do. Or you can keep doing the same thing, like this hamster going round and round the wheel, wake up every morning and go, why in the world is things not working out? Why are things always the same? Why are people not getting it? Well, I'll tell you why people aren't getting it, because you're not teaching and training them. You're not allowing them to fix and solve problems every day, not when there's an event, not when there's a Kaizen event, but every day, every second you're looking, just like I just stopped and fixed the audio. Everything now, you just stop and you fix it. You do not produce defects. It's a totally different way of thinking. And Lean is not a superhero program. This is these are all the problems that people have. They think they're going to hire this consultant that's going to come in and change their company. No way. This is the biggest mistake you'll ever make. It is not a superhero program. It is everyone working, everyone from the person who's the brand new employee to the CEO, everyone from top to bottom, total participation. And it's not bureaucracy. If you like charts and graphs and you want to know this percentage and that percentage, wrong. This is not for you. It is not bureaucracy. It's simply doing what Rick did. Pull the line and find out why the bolt dropped on the ground. Why did that happen? You don't need a graph and a chart to figure that out. You need common sense. And when you start executing that on a daily basis, you're going to get it. So forget the charts and the graph. And is it the flavor of the month? You come to this conference, you hear Paul Akers speak, you say, man, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. We're going to do that. And you do it for a month. You go, oh, it's not quite working. And then you go off to something else. This is another huge problem. You do not want to do lean unless you have made up in your mind, this is the way you're going to organize your company. When you have that level of clarity, then do lean. But if you think you're going to just try it and hope that it works, never happen. You will fail. I'll guarantee it. You will fail. This is a total participation system. This is everyone in your organization from top to bottom, from new to old, participating in the idea of stopping the line. Stop. Lean is stop and solving problems now. This is the key. So let's take a trip, okay? We're going to go back to Toyota City. Shigeo, Shingo, Taichi Ono, these are the founders of the Toyota production system. Amazing people. And Richio Shingo, the son of Shigeo Shingo, is a very good friend of mine. I'm in Japan with him. I'm riding down the bus. And listen to what he says. He's the former president of Toyota China, right? This is a high-level Toyota executive, high level. And I asked Richio, I'm in a park, and you're there sitting on the park bench, and you're watching your children play, and there's ducks in the water, and your children are feeding the duck. And I introduced myself. Hello, I'm Paul Akers. Who are you? I'm Richio Shingo. What do you do, Richio? I'm the president of Toyota China. Oh, wow. You know, I've heard about this thing that Toyota does called the Toyota production system, but I don't understand it. What is the Toyota production system? I say to Richio. And he goes, you know nothing. And I know. And you want me to tell you what the Toyota production system is. This is the president of Toyota. Okay, you ready? This is his response. It's going to shock you. And I sit down next to you and I ask you what you do. And you tell me, I'm an expert in the Toyota production system. And I said to you, what is that?
How would you describe that?
You know nothing, and I should tell you.
No background.
Oh, okay. I should tell you what the TPS is. TPS is the accumulation of small ideas of everybody. It's a.
Love it. It's
Oh.
perfect. You don't need to say anymore.
Okay, so I want you to think about what he just said. It is the accumulation of not big ideas, tiny ideas. Why did the bolt fall on the ground? From everyone, total participation. That's the Toyota production system. The philosophy of running a company that has most people mystified. They don't know how to implement it successfully. You know why? Because they don't understand what it really is. 2-second lean is saying every day make one tiny improvement that saves you 2 seconds. That's all 2-second lean is. That's all my book's about. And then the question is, how do you build a culture where everyone thinks like that? That's the mystery of the Toyota production system. And I finally figured it out what it was. I kept going back and forth to Japan, back and forth. What is it that Toyota's doing? I finally figured it out. They are simply making small improvements and they get everybody to do it. Total participation. It's so simple. Listen to this. This is again Ono. Listen to what Ono says about lean, or Shingo says on lean. Listen to this. This is Dr. Ken Snyder, head of the Shingo Institute. I'm speaking at the Shingo Institute. And Ken walks up to me, Dr. Snyder walks up to me and says this story, and I couldn't believe what I heard. Listen to this.
You queued up.
Hey, Ken, you were telling me about what Shingo said about the wasted 10 years. What was it?
He spent 10 years studying statistical quality control, a lot of Deming's work and things like that. He said, I got enamored by it. I loved it. And then after about 10 years, he gradually began to realize it was a waste. And he calls it his lost 10 years. Why did he call it a waste? Is because he was focusing on measuring and controlling defects instead of eliminating them.
Instead of doing it.
Instead of doing it, yeah, you're measuring instead of eliminating.
And you said about it, put statistics, put the hand, put
yeah.
He
had a lot of other critiques of using statistics. Another one was he said it takes the problem of eliminating defects out of the hands of the operators who are dealing with it every day, and into the hands of the engineers who are doing all the statistical analyses.
Genius.
So there's Shingo for you. Shingo on quality.
Did you get that? This is Shigeo Shingo saying it was his wasted 10 years because he was having the charts and the graphs and he was measuring everything and he was thinking he was Mr. Smart and everything else. When he said eliminate waste, I should have been doing exactly what Rick did. Stop the line, find out why the bolt dropped on the ground. When's the last time you stopped your work and fixed what bugged you and fixed the problem? When we get the entire organization doing this, amazing things happen. This is Ono. Listen to what he said. Valueless motion are equal to shortening one's life. So if you're running around in circles with that hamster producing waste, you're shortening your life. What is 2-second lean? Here it is.
What is 2-second lean? It is simple. I took a world-class business concept practiced by the top companies in the world, Toyota, Harley-Davidson, Porsche, and made it fun and easy so anyone could tap into the power of daily continuous improvement. There are 3 easy steps to become a powerful lean thinker. First, learn the 8 wastes. Overproduction, transportation, inventory, defects, overprocessing, motion, waiting, wasted human potential. Then you will see these different wastes everywhere, and it will drive you crazy. Second, you will be compelled to eliminate the waste you now see and make improvements every day that removes the waste in your life. Make it the first thing you do every day. Small, consistent, tiny, 2-second improvements, all hooked together day after day, adds up to mountains of more free time, friend time, and play time. You see, there's nothing cool about being wasteful, and there is everything cool about becoming a lean thinker. Third, pull out your smartphone and shoot a quick video to show your improvements to your friends, family, and co-workers. That's it. Prepare to experience the power of becoming a lean thinker.
Now, I want you to think about this. I've given this talk that I'm giving right now hundreds of times, if not thousands of times. I've done it so many times. Before I came on today, I made over 10 improvements to this presentation. How could that be? Isn't it good enough? I've done it hundreds of times. You mean it's not good enough? Nothing's ever good enough. I'm constantly looking for ways to re-clarify and make things simpler and easier so more people can get it. This is the way I think, because I understand there is a tornado of waste swirling around me. And you, when you realize the same thing, everything's going to change in your life. You're going to realize that you produce so much non-value added activity. It is just staggering. The question is, can you see it? Most people can't see it. Most people spend they send an email and they send an email back 10 times when it should have taken one communication method. Well, that's waste. That's over processing. How many of you send emails and back and forth? It's just like insanity. Why? In Japan, we call that nande. Why? Nande. Why did the bolt drop on the ground? Why are you sending 10 emails? Why can't you communicate it right the first time? The minute that happens in your brain and you can see the waste, everything changes. So I'm on the bus in Japan and I'm talking to the guys there, and I've got a president of a company with 1,800 employees. And he raises his hand and I ask him, why do you do lean? And he gives me the most profound answer. I couldn't believe what he said. It was just like gold. It was unbelievable. Why do you do lean? So here's Rob, US Synthetics. They make a synthetic diamond for oil drilling. And this is what Rob said to me, okay? It was just incredible. Why do you do lean? It allows me to live 100 lifetimes. Because when I don't do lean, I'm wasting so much time. I'm wasting so much of the experiences that life wants to give me. But when I do lean, it's like living 100 lifetimes. It's just incredible thinking. This is what happened. And people, let's go back to that slide real quick. I'm going to go back to that slide. Do you remember how they introduced me? How could one man, climb mountains, get an instrument rated, write 5 books, run a company, travel all over the world, do everything that I do? How do you do it? Well, it's very simple. I'm thinking lean all the time about everything I'm doing, so I can get so much more done than most people. And I experience so much more of life. So why do you do lean? Every day, all of us are given 3 things. We're given time. We got 8 hours to work, let's say. We're given potential, our body. What is our mind capable of? What is our soul capable of? What is our heart capable of? And we're given money. These resources are given us, time, potential, and money. They're given to us, and we're stewards over them. What person in their right mind would only want to use a fraction of the time that's given them correctly, a fraction of the potential that God's given us, and a fraction of the money? Who would want to do that? But yes, that's exactly what most companies, most organizations, and most people in the world do. If you think I'm wrong, just look at government. Government screws up 99% of everything they do. They waste people's time, they waste people's potential, and they waste your money and my money. Okay? It's the facts. So here's a good example. I go into this hotel, and when I walk into the hotel, I'm shocked. They have a picture of where to plug in my computer. What's the first thing you do when you walk into a hotel? You take out your laptop, you take out your phone, and you go to plug it in. Half the time, the plugs are in terrible places. Half the time, you have to look around for it. That's wasting your time. That's wasting your potential. That's wasting everything about what you do. But this hotel, the only hotel in the world that I've ever gone to, actually had a visual cue on exactly where to plug my computer. And I go, hallelujah, somebody's finally not wasting my precious resources. This is lean thinking. It's this simple. When you start thinking this simple, everything changes. So what do I want out of this talk? What do I hope and pray for all of you? I want you to see waste like you've never seen it before. I hope that it electrifies you. I hope you just go, oh my gosh, I see what this guy's talking about. I totally get it. If that happens, we all win. So here's the best example. Take a look at this slide. I get this airline ticket. I'm looking at this. I'm dyslexic. I can't even see. I look at this ticket. I have no clue what this ticket is saying. And this is a $1 billion company. This is Delta. This is like the biggest airline in the world. And this is the garbage. This is the bolt dropping on the ground that they hand me. And I'm looking at that going, you've got to be kidding me. I take my iPhone out right here. I take a picture of it on my leg. I send it to my team. I say, hey, Graham, 23 years old. Now, we do tens of millions of dollars of business, tens of millions. We don't do billions, but tens of millions. So we're pretty good, but we're a little company, right? And I send it to my one graphic designer. And I say, can you design me a lean airline ticket? And in 15 minutes, not 15 days, not 15 hours, but in 15 minutes, this is the ticket he designed. So you tell me, do you want this ticket or do you want this ticket? You see the difference? It's like, it's brain dead simple. It's brain dead simple. Tells me where I need to go visually, tells me what's the next thing, what's the next question I'm gonna ask? I'm gonna ask what gate I have to be at. There's the gate. Then what's the next question I'm gonna ask? When are they gonna board? There's a picture of boarding. What's the next question I'm gonna ask? What seat? Oh, I'm sitting in 7D. We're in the 21st century. You mean we can't graphically put an output to tell us where 7D is on the plane so we can board the plane in 5 minutes instead of 15 minutes? People shuffling around, looking what ticket they are, where they are, getting in the wrong seat. I mean, come on. This is brain dead simple stuff. And then the next question is what time you're going to take off. What ticket? Do you want Delta's airline ticket or do you want the lean airline ticket? It's a no-brainer. Then Toyota comes to my plant. So I have Toyota executives and leaders coming to my plant in Washington. And they walk in the door and I show them the same slide I'm showing you. And they look at me and they say, hey, Paul, we see some improvement. And I didn't put up my hands and say, don't tell me I'm the 2-second lean guy. I'm the guy that knows how to do this stuff. I figured out how to do it better than you. I didn't say that. I said, wow, really? Show me what I need to do. They said, put an arrow on the line to remove all ambiguity on which direction you're traveling. I said, genius. They said, put your arrival time. So the person picking you up, or if you have to schedule an Uber or whatever you have to do, you don't have to extrapolate it in your mind. You know when you're going to be picked up. How many of us look at our airline ticket and go, well, when does it arrive? And we have to go through a bunch of gyrations to figure out when it arrives. And then put the date. And I go, genius, beautiful. In 15 minutes, we have the entire slide deck updated. And then put back in the presentation, and Toyota looked at us and said, wow, that's incredible. I said, you taught us everything. You taught us to stop the line. You taught us to fix what bugs you. You taught us to eliminate defects. That's the story. It's that simple. Okay, so that's a 2-second improvement. There it is, all done. But then I go to Canada, and the Canadians look at this. I've got 1,000 people in front of me. And they say, you know what? The plane is the wrong direction, Paul. So when you're walking on the plane, you have to invert everything in your mind. I go, oh, that's another 2-second improvement. So let's turn the airplane image around. I go, genius. Let's do that. And then I go to Germany. I'm in Hungary. I'm at Mercedes-Benz. I'm speaking to all the top leaders in Mercedes. And I'm doing the same presentation I'm doing to you right now. And they say, Paul, but in Germany, we enter from the back of the plane and the front of the plane. I go, oh my gosh. I immediately picked up my phone. I sent a WhatsApp message to my graphic designer. While I was speaking to Mercedes-Benz, my graphic designers updated it, sent to me on WhatsApp, updated the presentation, and the people at Mercedes said that would have taken us 3 months. Why does it take so long? Maybe there's some waste in your process. Maybe there's something wrong. Are you willing to stop the line and fix it now? So we may change the image. So certainly technology nowadays, if someone's sitting in the back of the plane, they can print out which direction, what do you want, the front of the plane or the back of the plane? I mean, this is brain dead simple stuff. We can process a credit card in 15 seconds anywhere in the world. 15 seconds of credit card, we can do an accurate transaction, and we can't graphically put out an airline ticket that makes sense? Come on. You got to be kidding me. Now, I'm in Australia, and they say, take the back of the ticket and put a map of the airport. So you visually know where the gate is. So you're not wandering around, look at signs and everything. Oh, you can visually map the whole thing. I go, genius, let's do it. This is so basic. I can't believe it. I'm in Indiana and I'm speaking, and they're looking at the QR code. And you know what the biggest thing with the QR code? Do you put your phone up or do you put your phone down? Oh no, just put it on both sides.
So at my talk in Indiana, one of the guys in the audience noticed that the scanning barcode was in the top right-hand corner. He said, put that same barcode on the backside. So when you go to scan at the airport, whether it's scanning from the top or the bottom, you intuitively know exactly where to line it up when you put it down on the screen. If it's scanning from the bottom, you know exactly where you need to line it up. So clever. Another 2-second improvement.
Everything that's going on in your company, can you even fathom what your company's going to look like? It's going to be the most amazing place in the world to work. It's just going to be incredible. I go to Kazakhstan. I'm speaking in front of 2,000 people in Kazakhstan. These guys raise their hand in the middle of my talk. 2,000 people raise your hand. Hey, Paul, I see an improvement. I'm going, no problem. What's the improvement? They say, add the time zone change +3. You're going from Seattle to New York. It's a 3-hour time. Everybody not sure about it. Is it a 2-hour? Is it mountain time? Is it standard time? What is it? So simple. I immediately picked up my phone in front of 2,000 people. Hey, Graham, can you update it? Boom, it was set. I updated it live in front of everybody in Kazakhstan. That's lean thinking. Just last week, I was speaking in Saudi Arabia. A guy from Egypt was watching. He says, Paul, you know, the date on your tickets might be a little confusing. You know, to me, it just looks like a code. It doesn't even look like a date because some countries do the month first, some people do the day first. Why don't you just put it so that the 2020, we don't even have to think that that means 2020 by putting 2000 or 21 or whatever it is. And I said, hey, Mohammed, brilliant. We made the change just like that. This is 2-second lean. This is lean thinking. This is the Toyota production system. And why can we do this? Why do most people struggle with doing this? For one reason, because we can see waste. We see the immense amount of over-processing, wasted motion, wasted transportation, wasted human potential, the defects that are created, you looking around. So you go to the airline now. So these are the 8 ways. So look at all the overproduction. There's all the overproduction of the airlines. Then they transported me through the airport. Then they stacked me up in inventory. Then I missed my flight and I have a defect. Then I have a heart attack. They got to call an ambulance to revive me. And then I have to overprocess and book another flight. And then more over processing, looking up on screens, trying to figure out where I have to go, talk to information people, waste people's time, more bureaucracy, more motion, more standing in line, more waiting, and wasted employee genius. All these problems can be easily solved if we just unleash the power of our people to fix what bugs them by making small improvements. And baby, this is not rocket science. You don't need a PhD. You don't need an MBA. You know, Elon Musk says the problem with companies is they're run by MBAs. MBAs, they like to do this stuff instead of engaging their entire team in the idea of continuous improvement. It's a freaking airline ticket. And we can't get this stuff right. This is 2-second lean. This is the essence. Which one do you want? Which ticket do you want? You tell me. My ticket's safer. I'm not going to have a heart attack. It's better quality. I get the information I want without any struggle. It's much simpler. Remember this, Steve Jobs, simplicity attracts. Complexity repels. If you want to not create a lean culture, you just create complexity. You just throw those graphs and charts up on the board. You will repel the world. But if you want everyone to be engaged in this, you make it simple. You simply say, Bob, Martha, Paul, you got a problem? Let's stop and fix it. You need resources? Let me help you. This is lean thinking. And then the ticket's much faster to get the information. This is how we improve. We improve by measuring safety, quality, simplicity, and speed. This ticket hits every one of those. And our main target is to produce better quality, to reduce defects. When we do that, everyone wins. It's all about quality, okay? I'm going to end with this slide. This is Saturday Night Live in India. I don't know if you know about this program. It's a comedy program, and it's very funny. I'm speaking to a big group of people in Texas, and a guy comes up to me and says, Paul, you should really end your talk with this slide because it's so absolutely what you're talking about. So listen to this quick video. We find these problems. What do we do?
Hello, Seth. Hello, Amy. Hello, Seth and Amy.
Oscar, last week the stock market was up nearly 500 points, and this week it's down more than 400 points. Do you see any hints that this roller coaster ride will be ending anytime soon?
Very good analogy, Seth. The market is very much like a roller coaster ride, and I do believe it is about to end. But before we get off, we will come to find that our digital camera has fallen out of our shirt pocket, our brand new Ray-Bans have flown off our head, and we are about to financially barf on ourselves.
So what do we do?
Well, it's actually very simple. Somebody needs to get on top of this situation and fix it. Seth, I haven't slept in 2 weeks. Somebody needs to look at this mess and fix it. Tomorrow morning, when I have my breakfast cereal, the morning paper better read, it's been fixed. Fix it. Fix all of it. Now.
So what, So, if you don't mind, Oscar, what exactly should be done?
Well, it's not rocket science, Seth. It's a simple 3-step process. Step 1, fix. Step 2, it. Step 3, fix it. Then repeat steps 1 through 3 until it's all fixed.
It's that simple. You know, Rick stopped the line. Toyota taught the Americans to stop the line. It's that simple. Are you stopping the line? Are you fixing the defects that you're creating? Are you eliminating the waste in your organization? Not once a week, not once a month, not when you get inspired and come to a conference or you hear someone speak, but every day in everything you do, from brushing your teeth to taking a shower, to finding your car keys, to communicating with your team workers, with your team members, to finding the wrench, to finding the file on your computer. Everything is a process. Eliminate the waste in those processes. Search and find the defects and stop and fix what bugs you. That's my talk. Thank you very much. So are we going to do a Q&A now?
Yes, Paul. Good morning once again. My name is Rajendra Bagwe. You can call me Raj. I'm the founding director of TLC. I think I need to fix it by removing the teaching of the TLC and showing the learning community. Okay, so I'm going to fix the timing problem now and straight away go to Q&A session so that people who are very keen to ask you questions can right away start. Who wants to start? Sanjay. Okay.
Hello. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
First, let me thank you for inspiring the whole world business fraternity for making lean simple. Because I was scared of lean, and you took the scare out of me. And I'm overwhelmed to.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
And what's more beautiful, you're probably highly educated, PhD and everything, and that you would say that is beautiful.
Yeah, and I'm overwhelmed to acknowledge that we are following your concept of stopping process for last 8 months under the guidance of Sri Rajendra Bagwe. And one problem I'm having, we are already seeing good effects of stopping the process and improving. But one problem I'm seeing, not say all 100% of my team members are participating. About 60 to 70% have started participating. And those who are not participating, they are relatively senior people. So they are not willing to change. What is the remedy on this?
Yes. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, first of all, you know, Toyota has a concept, and it's a beautiful concept. And you ready for this? It says, What are the 3 steps to creating a transformation in an organization? Step 1, the guy or the woman at the top must be fully engaged in the transformation. Step 2, the guy or the woman at the top must be fully engaged in the transformation. Step 3, the guy or the woman at the top must be fully engaged in the transformation.
Okay.
And the subject. If you don't get the top people in the organization engaged in this, if they don't realize in their heart, in their mind, in their soul, that this is the greatest concept in the world, untapping the potential in a human being, being a good steward of the resources that have been given us, it's impossible.
Yes. That's it.
That's it. So if you can't get them on board, if you can't get them on the shop floor, if you can't get them to really get what's going on here, I would tell you one thing. There's 2 things that need to happen. Number 1, you need to focus on improving everything you're doing like a maniac, like I do. And then you will rise to the top, because the laws of nature say that people that do a better job with the resources that are given them always rise to the top. Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, do I need to go on and on? Okay. You will become the leader, and then you will be able to lead that transformation. And if that doesn't happen, if you can't do that for whatever reason, find another company. Find a company that gets it. Do not waste your life with people that don't get it.
Okay. Done.
Okay, Prasad, would you like to ask something?
In one of your video, Paul, you have said that if the lean is actually implemented just for improving profitability or decreasing the inventory, it will never work. It has to be something else. Well, I would like to have some insights on that.
Yeah, well, I think this is why if you look at humanity, humanity always makes giant leaps when the human spirit and the human being is developed. Is that a fair statement?
Yes.
If you just focus on money, you're not realizing the amazing gift of human life, of the people that you have been entrusted to lead. And it's like pouring cold water on a fire. It just doesn't work. And that's why it takes a special leader to realize the importance of what they have been entrusted with. Toyota says that, and I learned this in Toyota, it's so beautiful, that when an individual comes to work for them at 20 years old and they work till they're 50 years old, okay, those 30 years are the most productive years of that human being's life. They have been entrusted by God to take those 30 years and use them wisely. That is a huge responsibility and gift. They're never talking about money. Toyota is one of the biggest and most successful companies in the world. I don't know if most people know that. I mean, they're like one of the top, I think they're in the top 11 companies in the world, and one of the most successful companies in the world. It's focused on human potential. This is what it's all about. Did that answer the question?
Yes.
Thank you. Srikant, would you like to ask something?
Good morning, Mr. Paul.
Yes.
I've been practicing this at my end. There are few responses, like you said, that you get a very this one, and few you don't get responses. We keep teaching every time. We keep demonstrating ourselves, but still you don't get, and sometimes you feel why the gap is there, and how do we bridge this gap?
Okay. Well, I think there's a couple things involved here. Okay. Number one is, whenever you have a problem, 95% of the time, it's a process problem. In other words, your teaching is really not as good as you think your teaching is, right? Your human development is really not as good as you think your human development is. And 5% is a people problem. You have a bad person, right? And I'm not afraid to say that. So the concept that I've learned from Dan Aarons at Aarons Lawnmower, a huge company in the United States, is we're going to change the people, or we're going to change the people. Okay, so the first onus is on you. Make sure that your method of communication, your method of training is effective. And the best way to do that is to get on the shop floor. The more time you spend shoulder to shoulder, touching the other person, working and solving the problems, whatever they are, this is the fundamental nucleus of successful transformation. It is not in a boardroom. It is not in a meeting. It is touching the other person's shoulder on the shop floor, working through the problems together. This is the Toyota method. This is critical. But then after you've done that, and you still can't get the person to change the person. That's the brutal, honest truth. Okay?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Jitendra, Sanjay. Yes, Sanjay. Last question.
I would like to ask one more question. When people start learning, doing some improvements may have impact which is very, very small. Some improvements may have impact which is larger one. The entrepreneur tends to appreciate more based on the value of money. So one thing I would like to ask you, is it right to compare the improvements done by different people?
Oh gosh, never, never. Oh God, never. A matter of fact, celebrate the small ones more than the big ones.
Yes.
Celebrate the small ones more than the big ones. I got to tell you a story, and hopefully this helps your team, because I know you're all business people. Okay, so my company is so successful, it makes Fortune 500 companies look bad. Did you hear what I just said? If you were to look at everything we're doing, we make Fortune 500 companies look bad. I mean, bad. Now, I never worry about the money. We have a financial meeting every month. You know how long it lasts? 30 minutes. 30 minutes. I have a CPA. I have not a controller. My chief financial officer. You know how many days he works for my company a month? I want you to think about it. We do tens of millions of dollars around the world in 40 countries. 4 days. My CFO works 4 days. Everybody else's would work all the time. We don't need all the time. It's very simple. Is your profitability going up? Are your wages going up? Are your costs going down? Are your product lines shrinking, decreasing? They're very simple analysis. We make a very simple analysis of our company every month. And by that, we can judge on the direction we're going. Other than that, I don't care about the money. And everything keeps getting better. The profitability keeps better. The wages are going up dramatically. The costs are going down. The cost per hour per employee that every employee works, that they produce in our company, is so astronomically high, it would make you cry. It would make you cry compared to other companies. What do? We make a lot of small improvements. Someone puts a label on a box, so when they go to the box, they don't have to worry about whether or not what's in there. Is there tape in there? Is there pens in there? We celebrate that. That small improvement makes everything in our company run better, so all the indicators are going the right direction. Every indicator goes the right direction. Do I focus on money? I do not focus on money. If my people need a resource to make an improvement, it's almost always yes. It's almost always yes. But my people know how to use their head and not their wallet. They're not pulling out their wallet to spend money every time to make an improvement. They make very simple improvements. But when we do have to spend money, we spend money.
Yes.
Did that answer the question?
Yeah, thank you.
Dinesh, you have anything? Or should I conclude?
Yeah, I have a small question for Mr. Paul. I am actually ecstatic and I am going bonkers by seeing you in person because we have been watching so many of your videos in our training material, and it's very nice seeing you online.
Your name is Dinesh?
Yes, my name is Dinesh. Yeah.
One of my favorite people in the whole world is Dinesh D'Souza. I don't know if you know who Dinesh is, but
thanks a lot. In order to bring all the people on board, we have introduced some kind of a reward and recognition system. Is that the right way to do it?
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Disaster. Don't do it. I'll tell you why. Because people, I improve my life every day. I improve the way I brush my teeth. I improve the way I do this keynote presentation, not for money. I'm not intrinsically motivated. I'm not extrinsically motivated. I'm intrinsically. I'm doing it because my heart and soul knows it's the right thing to do. If you have a bunch of people that always have their hands out, you're going to wreck the whole concept of this. People should do it because it makes sense. Who doesn't want their work to be better? Do you really want to go to work and your work be the same or get worse? Who doesn't want their work to get better? Don't do it. I made this mistake and I tell everyone, do not do it. Let me make a caveat to that. Our people are paid a minimum of 30% to 50% higher than industry standards. Everyone at my company, they get pay raises all the time, $1, $2, regularly, not once a year, regularly they're getting these raises. But we can afford to do that. Our people's output is 10 times what the average person's output is. So we can afford to pay our people a lot more, but we would never pay them for making an improvement. That's their job. We hire them. Listen to this concept. When we bring people in, we make it really clear to them. We are not hiring you to make woodworking tools and equipment. We are not. We are hiring you to improve the way you make woodworking tools and equipment. Your job is to improve. I'm already paying you. And the better you do that, you'd have to be a moron as a leader not to reward your people with pay for doing a great job at that. You'd have to be a moron. You see how that works?
Yeah, got it, sir. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. It has been an amazing session and lots of myths broken, right? From how should you lead the company to how should you motivate your people to how to keep lean simple. I think all of us are so motivated that once the COVID limitations go, everyone would like to come and visit your company.
I would love that. I would love that. But in the meantime, there's tours. I have videos with 500,000 views of our company. I mean, we make everything visible. We don't hide anything and everything's free. Fantastic. We don't want anything from anyone.
And the second is, when would you be coming to India? We would like to play host.
Oh, let's stay in touch because I love India. I've been to TVS. Venu Srivanathan is a good friend of mine at TVS Motors. I think you all know TVS Motors, amazing lean organization. Yeah, so I've been to India and I love India and I would love to come back. I'd love to come back. I don't have any plans right now, but believe me, I'd come back in a second.
Just give us a call and we'll make the arrangements.
I'd love it.
Thank you, Paul. Nice to have you for the session.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Prasad,
The stage is all yours now for summing up.
Yeah, I just wanted to connect the dots with all the three speakers. It has been a great real Bodh. And we started with this fantastic orbit shifting concept. And then both the speakers, the first two speakers talked about scaling up. And I just came to my mind that while in this process of scaling up and getting motivated by Paul's talk, actually we focus on the wrong competitor. Our biggest competitor is non-consumption. we just look around, as Anand said, if we can limit our market size and look around, you will see that there is more than 80%, or if you are 20% there is 80% of people are not consuming your products. So that is the biggest competition. And if you can make lean simple in your company and make your products accessible and affordable. When I say affordable, I don't mean cheap. I mean that the right customer gets it right price. Then I think scaling up becomes simpler. And the next point I would like to share is finite player and infinite player. I think we Europeans or Indian entrepreneurs should try to be infinite players. Finite players, sales, profits, return on investment, fine. Those are all outcomes and they will come if you do things right. But if you can align your core purpose with the market or the customers whom you want to serve, then and do something which is you're passionate about, the results are bound to come. So let's try to be infinite players working based on core purpose rather than just vision or a mission. The final takeaway or the final thing I want to share is, as entrepreneurs, I think we should stick to this formula of A greater than R, meaning A is our ambitions or aspirations to grow, and R is the resources. Entrepreneurship only comes when ambitions are more than resources. If ambitions are less than resources, then you're a manager. So this is a famous C.K. Prahlad statement. So as an entrepreneur, we need to keep our ambitions high, to scale up and lean so that you use minimum resources to grow. With these thoughts, I would like to close today's Bodh. I would again thank all the speakers for their fantastic thoughts, and I think we'll all go motivated, and these are enough to be motivated till the next Bodh comes. Dinesh, would you like to conclude?
Sir, I like to add the vote of thanks.
Okay. Yeah.
The Bodh team, which was led by Prasad, and they have made this day, I would say, and it was very great to have Paul Akers and all the two speakers here. And secondly, the admin team who made this possible. So really proud of them to make this technically possible. Thank you.
Shall we declare this Bodh closed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Have a nice evening.
Thanks, Narendra and team. Thanks.